Pete and John are in Alabama. Now, there are some prospects that they're going to be looking at, but there's one that we know for sure ain't going to be there, and that is Bryce Young. Bryce Young is going to throw today. He did not. He didn't throw at the combine, but he did weigh in at 204. All right, something tells me, Curtis Rogers, he's not going to be 204 at this pro day.
Well, what's interesting is that he did not weigh in at Alabama's pro day today. He's going to take his combine weight, and that's going to be his official weight.
That's what I weigh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take my weight
a little slimmer
from 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm gonna take that weight and say that's what I weigh now. So they're gonna see Bryce Young throw, and you gotta look at him, right? If something crazy happens and he drops to 5, you put in your work. You're looking at this young man and see how he carries himself. I think that's a big part of this pro day stuff is how does he carry himself? How does he communicate with people? Is he in control of the situation? There's another guy they're looking at that possibly could drop to number 5. We're not expecting it. Is Will Anderson. You got to size him up. You know what I do with big dudes? I think I told you before. If I see a big human being walking down the street.
What sport you play?
What you play, man? Yeah. Right? And then if we dap it up, I'll pull him in tight so I can kind of feel him like, all right, man, how strong are you?
There was a New York Times article the other day that said tall people hate being asked if they play basketball.
Really?
And I was like, man, Bump would just see this artitle and throw it in the trash.
See, I don't ask basketball. I just ask what. Like, what is it?
There you go.
I'm gonna say golf next time. Well, what's your handicap? Right. So we got Will Anderson. They're going to have to take a look at him. There's a possibility he drops to 5, but we're not expecting that. I think the Arizona Cardinals are probably going to take him with that number 3 spot. The last time the Cardinals picked number 3, who'd they take, Curtis?
That was a guy named Larry Fitzgerald who carved out a nice little career for himself.
Right. So I think they're hoping they can do that again with Will Anderson.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you take Bryce Young and possibly Will Anderson out of the equation for the Seahawks, then why are they in Tuscaloosa today? Now, obviously, you've got to scout everybody because, like you said, you've got to prepare for randomness in the draft. There are going to be guys that go up. There are going to be guys that go down on draft night. It happens every single year. There's reaches. There's guys that fall. Who knows? Maybe Will Anderson or Bryce Young are those guys this year. I don't think they are. I think they are 2 of the most sure things in this draft. But there are about 4 other guys we pinpoint. And there's another reason why I think the Seahawks are going to be watching very intently at Alabama today that we're going to get to. But looking at these prospects, you've got safety Brian Branch, who has been mocked to them, I think, once prior. I think it was Todd McShay who had the Seahawks going for Brian Branch. That ain't going to happen. I don't think so anymore because he's a safety, and they just signed Julian Love. You've got, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs already there. Ryan Neal will probably be back. I don't see Brian Branch heading to Seattle. Now, there are 3 other positions of need that the Seahawks have that Alabama has dudes at performing at the pro day. Running back, Jahmyr Gibbs.
I don't see that neither.
I don't see it either because I think Gibbs is going to be a 2nd or 3rd round selection, and I think the Seahawks have bigger needs right now elsewhere on their roster that early on in the draft. I think they address that position later on. Defensive tackle Byron Young.
Possibly.
And then linebacker Henry To'o.
That's more like it. Now, I broke down, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I broke down film of this young man. And the thing that popped to me the most, okay, he will diagnose a play so quickly, it's ridiculous. That tells me he's a smart linebacker. He knows what he's looking at. Also, he is violent at the point of attack. He's not just trying to tackle you. He's trying to hurt you. That's the way you play that position. His east to west movement is crazy. And the most important thing, not the most important thing, but this organization needs it, he sniffs out screens. He sniffs it out. He gets east and west so fast. He wraps you up. He takes you down. Hawks need to do better at running screens and defending screens. Henry To'o.
To'o.
All right, we'll go with that. Is out of these prospects the one that I see with the biggest chance of ending up in Seattle.
Interesting.